And we are certainly ready for a game number 3. Though we certainly don't want to end it here. Seattle, do we want to see some more Dota? Here in the Cathedral in Seattle, we may just be witnessing the final game of the Grand Finals, but I'm sure a lot of us hope for so much more. And that all depends on Gaming Gladiators. I mean, they have been the ones to run the gauntlet through all of these majors. They were looking like the best team of the year until they ran into TSpirit. Until TSpirit ramped up just the right time, shown up for championships, and they have only lost 2 games in this entire tournament, Avery. They're 43-7 in their last 50. This team is looking unstoppable. Is there anything Gaming Gladiators can do to halt this momentum, even just a little bit?
You have to play Dota. There's no way around it. You have to meet this team on their plane and give them a taste of their own medicine, because you came in with a plan, but everybody has a plan until TSpirit punches you in the face. And right now you're laying on the ground trying to figure out what the hell just happened in the first 2 games. Your plan did not work. Whatever you thought it was going to happen in the games 1 and 2, it fell flat. So right now, TSpirit are in control of this draft meta. They're in control of the series, and they're dictating the pace in these games. They're dictating the team fight, so you have to meet them there and beat them. You have to outplay them. You have to start winning these team fights, scaling into the late game. You are not going to run this team over, which means you got to find some more momentum going past that 30 or 40 minute mark. It's not been Gaiman's MO this entire lower bracket run, but hey, you're in a dire situation in Grand Final. You don't have another chance here. You are at the total limit. So figure it out fast, make the adjustments, and get cranking. This is a draft that is heading in that direction, right? A lot more team fight, a lot more scaling presence. Yep. Spectre AA here designed to put Yatoro in a tough position. We've seen the AA be a counter to CK for a lot of this tournament in terms of limiting the lifesteal interactions. Of course, it can also have a huge impact versus the Dazzle as this game progresses into the late game. So I think these are much more even lineups in terms of what happens past the 40 or 50 minute mark. There's not some crazy inevitable scale outside of maybe Dazzle Spearbreaker doing crazy Dazzle Spearbreaker things, and Celery in trouble
in the bottom lane, and that is going to be your first blood. Collapse will claim it with a bash.
Of course, a little luck goes a long way. A classic TSpirit strategy going back to their first TI victory.
Has been killed.
Yeah, courier pick off as well. Look at that, Duraggio even like taking himself outside of the lane to block the hard camp, because this lane is already going a little bit awkward for them. The mid lane's not looking much better. We're 12-4 on Laurel over this melee range versus melee matchup. It's not a fun one. You should expect the Dazzle to win, but Laurel is already taking commanding lead. And then we've got your Toro, 11-2. Now the Brewmaster is keeping pace, but he's certainly not slowing down the carry of TSpirit. So Gaming Gladiators got to be able to halt this momentum a little bit further here. Bit of damage onto Ace. They're turning it back around, but Tofu's here to be able to help him out. Nice shot to get the extra bit of damage on 2 heroes.
Yeah, double proc, win the war of attrition. I think these side lanes can go fine for Gaiman over the course of the lanes. They don't look too terrifying to me. I think the Brew can fight back with the help of Muerta. Just a very tough hero to trade into. That mid lane is what I'm worried about though, right? It's Dazzle versus melee. I mean, Pango has some escape mechanisms, but if you get some roam going through with the poison adding up, it can be deadly.
Every single time Seller wants to be able to stop that hard camp opportunity, he does risk getting gone on by Mira and Collapse. This time around, he's fine. The Shard inadvertently kind of helps him out as he's pushed underneath his tower.
Just try and get as many pulls off as you can in this lane. Boost the XP up for both heroes as they both really want and need it here. You're not going to be able to shut Collapse down, which, I mean, that's a worrying factor, right? A Spear Breaker with absolute free farm, it's going to have a fast Midas, is what Collapse is going to have here. He's going to have his choice. That'll be quite powerful going into that mid game. So you got to be able to strike back in these small skirmishes. Get the ults up, particularly the Brewmaster Primal Split, the Rolling Thunder here. Very powerful spells. You can get them fast. And of course, A Blast coming in on top of it with Vortex amping up all this magic damage. But that mini home. Step.
Real quickly, want to give a shout out to our observers, the hardworking observers who have been keeping us through this entire tournament. Ace, maybe in some trouble here. Maposhka, he's trying to dodge all of these ghosts. He doesn't want to leave the calling. He'll take that extra bit of damage to try and risk it, but he does end up falling as a result. And now Ace, he'll have some helping hand from Tofu. Beautiful dead shot to push him back in, and Gaming Gladiators, a very clutch fight there for them. Tofu and Ace get a big win in their off lane.
That's the strength of the Muerta dual lane that they're looking for. This is why this hero's been a first pick for them for a lot of these series. They're very confident in what Tofu can do on it in the early game. Now he has some roam options. I don't think you can leave Ace in the 1-on-2, but if you can get some breathing room like this and look towards mid, maybe you can get some damage poke, help skew this lane back in Quinn's favor, because he is still getting known. 31 and 10 on Laurel, almost doubling Quinn up here. He got the courier as well. Quinn with a slight misstep will hurt his regen bearing. That just means more pressure going to build up between Laurel and his melee foe. Not much you can do against the poison touch here.
Yeah, this is looking like Quinn kind of needs one of his supports to die just to refill that bottle, and Celery may grant him that wish. He's going to get a double blood grenade before he goes, so this may be a fair trade-up if dota2 can claim his life, and he does manage to get it. Puts an early level into that Desolate, and it's just the added damage they need.
Honestly, I think Celery is okay with that. Solo XP for dota2 on a Spectre. He gets to collect all these creeps under the tower without any pressure. Pretty happy about that exchange with a very defensive-oriented lane where, you know, what are you doing aggressively with the AA Spectre? It's all about getting farm and XP down here.
And there's that TP rotation to fill out Quinn's bottle. And try and help with the 6-minute rune. See if he's able to do so, but TSpirit not going to worry about the runes here. Instead, they try and win this offlane situation where Ace and Tofu were doing pretty well for themselves. They bring 3 heroes to the matter to bring down Ace if they can get him. Slowed down by the blood grenade. They only need a couple more hits. They've got more blood. Where that came from, apparently, gives them over that Lotus, and that's enough.
Evasion with the haze, enough for Ace to just walk off here.
I lied. They do care about that power rune because they brought Collapse to secure it. Not just that, but also the kill on Quinn.
That's just going to secure the double check for Laurel. He's going to walk all the way top and get himself a shield rune. Putting this matchup to good use, giving Quinn a taste of his own medicine here with the roam. Maybe not expected out of the offlaner, but that is a hell of a rotation from Collapse and gets a lot of momentum going into this Dazzle right now. This is a pressure point you're going to have to respond to. This is a hero that scales very hard in Dota right now. Pretty strong early game for TSpirit. They're going to look to try and play back, but Quinn with a nice rotation, just eyeing Yatoro up here all alone. Get the hit back.
If you're just going to keep dying in your lane, you might as well rotate out of it, even if it means you're doing it pre-level 6. So, as you can see, anybody who shows up in the mid lane is going to be run over by the Dazzle, especially if you get the extra vision of like a tough snowball or the Spirit Breaker charge. You just can't get away from this poison touch hit. So,
especially with these wards behind the tower already. Deep observer for TSpirit behind game in tier 1. Collapse having a chuckle about that.
Yeah, that was all because Quinn tipped him before the charge even completed. Quinn knew what was coming. He could do nothing to stop it.
Well, really?
It's always an option.
Just saying.
4-4, 7.5 minutes in. Did we trade off wisdom runes? Yeah.
Yes, that was the one upside of, you know, them going on mid. You guarantee the wisdom rune trade, which Celery's definitely happy about. I mean, you're saying he's like happy to soak up a tier, but it is a weird position for an AA who'd rather just be pulling if nothing else is happening.
So leaving dota2 alone in the bottom lane, but a really good use of the dagger will get him over that little cliff area, and Tofu can get some damage back in return. No threat of anybody dying, but a decent punish, and will allow dota2 to clean up some CS, but he is being pushed out of lane. Mira's not giving up on it just yet.
And Maposhka even rotating down here, potentially throwing that Inkswell into the Breaker. I mean, this is a combination we also saw when Breaker was hot that last patch. The TSpirit were very comfortable playing. The Inkswell Breaker across the map, giving you the guaranteed setup. This is what the CK is designed to help facilitate. Push the lanes in with CK illusions, be a ghost on the map, and all of a sudden you get one pickoff and your map just collapses, right? On the flip side, Gaming trying to do something similar. You can set anything up with a Primal Split or the Rolling Thunder, then suddenly dota2 can come in and clean house. This is a smoke designed to find Yatoro, but nobody's home. Yatoro.
They juke him out with a Phantasm. He sent it back instead. Quinn and Ace will bite down on that, but it doesn't matter too much that bait. They still get some pretty good damage onto the tower. One thing to note about that Inkswell combination with the Spirit Breaker. Oh, thought they were going to go on to Mira, but Mira is going through the portal. They don't have a stun to stop him. He gets the other side. dota2 pursues.
Dagger does hit him.
Yeah, he's pretty damn slow, and he's going to hit him with another dagger. Mira, he needs the help from the Spirit Breaker. He has a snowball to buy a moment. Collapse, pops his ultimate, immediately goes for the kill on a Tofu. See if they can trade things out here for the shard and the calling. That actually protects him there. Collapse doesn't want to trade 2 for 1, so he's going to go ahead and give up on that. They cannot afford to give any more kills to this dota2 Spectre.
Gonna rotate Laurel bottom. They really want to punish dota2. There it is, coming back.
The Inkswell charge in, chaining the stuns and adding up on the damage. Spear Breaker got that 5% buff. The movement speed as damage got buffed up by 5%. That was enough to bring him back into the meta, but then that's even more if you add in this Inkswell movement speed buff.
It's a deadly combination for a reason. I like that rotation from Warlow. That's such a heads-up read there. You can just walk down the lane. There's no vision here. They probably had a read because Celery's been mid the whole time, right? It's going to limit where your observers are going to go. Just a really cheeky kill on the Spectre. Nice shard to buy some time.
Good driving by Quinn. Gets around that little speed bump in the way. Hopefully dota2 can finish him up, but not quite. No, Shao Gray comes in for Law. Perfect timing there. Quinn does manage to get some decent damage on Toro, and Ace here. He makes the difference. He makes it so TSpirit can no longer fight back. It's an overwhelming amount of team fight that he'll put to work to bring down Toro, and it looks like it's going to chase down Mapochka. Mira really trying for this one. He might just get himself killed in the process. Will it be good enough? Mapochka still dies, and sure enough, Mira, he's going to be in trouble as well. Good use of the shard, blocking him out, but he still falls. Cannot stop Gaming Gladiators as they bring all 5, learning from TSpirit perhaps. The only way to beat these guys in a team fight is you got to bring everybody to the table.
And that's why I think this draft feels a lot better for them to play. They can connect the heroes a lot faster. The Spectre facilitates that at a tremendous rate. And then Ace is just on a hero where even if his lane phase wasn't spectacular, which it has been this game, that Primal Split into a fast Radiance is going to give them all the team fight they need. The CK does not have free engagements, where I felt like in the first 2 games, Yatoro's connections were uncountered, right?
Yeah.
He goes in with a Weaver, goes in with a Faceless Void, gets what he wants and gets out. This game, Yatoro finds himself in a pickle mid where he just can't escape, pays the price, an 0-3 start where Yatoro got up here. Perhaps one of the rougher early games we've seen from the entire tournament. That is a very good position for Gaimin to be in.
Which
means shut down a lot of the pace.
Varl's going to have to pick up that little bit of slack, right?
Yes.
He's going to have to step in with this Dazzle, but the Dazzle, I feel like, isn't a hero you really want to utilize just yet. Feels like that Aghanim Scepter is such a key timing. You can't afford to delay that by getting into some risky engagement.
This hero is like Tinker in some ways. Like his first item, kind of easy to get to. You're a powerhouse when you get it, but then you fall into a valley, and it's like the next 2 or 3 you have to get to before you really come online in the ultra late, and those team fights start to become impossible for the enemy. That is a period where Gaimin can strike with this Radiance, which is going to be coming out fast on Ace this game. Just take the team fight to TSpirit, which is where, again, you have to meet this team. You have to be willing to take the 5-on-5s and win them and translate it into objectives. You can't just go for the other first.
Smoke across the map. They failed to get the initiation on Collapse. We're going to try and join Quinn for the power rune. Quinn's going to need that help too. He sounds up the poison touch. The Inkswell's on top of him, but he does manage to get away with the swashbuckle just in time. The charge is going to complete. Collapse. He's got his ultimate. He may not even need it though. The poison touch slowed him down so much. And Mapochka is getting a TP out the shot. Oh, it's so close, but it runs out. It doesn't get there in time, and now a snowball to the other side to meet dota2, as it is now him who is surrounded by TSpirit heroes. Too many to count.
And that is a Midas Chaos Knight coming in and cleaning up the enemy carry there. Yatoro gets some XP, a much better turnaround for him as opposed to the last River fight where they're still missing that tier 1. So maybe a smoke and connection that Quinn and the gang just didn't expect, considering they're missing that objective that went down in the previous fight.
Is under attack.
But it seems like TSpirit take advantage of that bit of an overlook from Quinn. And now Collapse, highest net worth in the game, but Gaming Gladiators don't want to slow down just yet. They still have that Rolling Thunder. Didn't use it in the last fight, so Tofu and Celery think to themselves that if they can get the right kind of initiation here with the Rolling Thunder, they can follow it up with the Ice Blast, but Yatoro? Uh-oh, he's in the staircase. It's going to be very awkward. The Soulbite does actually latch onto the 2 of them as Spectre jumps in. No way. Well, please tell me they're going to hit him. Oh, they barely got it.
In the fountain, he will go down. It wasn't even the blast, it was like an urn tick or something that got him in the end. Post that grave. That was a nasty soul bind, something they're going to have to think about with dota2 haunting in. They will find the big pick.
Ace is so close to his Radiance, he could not afford to get picked off here. So the first sign of danger, he uses his Primal Split. Though you can see the Spirit Breakers, pretty good answer to those Brewlings. No threat of dying here. It's something to think about later into the game.
And normally the Dispel and Tornado is a problem for this hero, but
is under attack.
Doesn't look like it so far. And like you said, Radiance 300 off for Ace. He just wants to get his big item and get the farm rate going. Still having a very good game on this Brewmaster.
Yeah, considering the Lone Druid game where he was so close to the Radiance for so long, I don't think he wants to risk that happening again.
And Radiance is an incredibly powerful item in this meta. It's better the faster you get it. In a lot of those games, Ace just didn't get it at a time where he could take the map or the fight's over with it. This is going to be a game where he has a very good chance to do that. as Yatoro still behind, right?
Yep.
This is a double Midas lineup for Team Spirit. They have one on the CK, one on the Spirit Breaker, which, you know, has become the de facto build for the XP getting to the late game talents. It is going to slow the team fight presence down. I really feel like if Gaming can get a fight going in the next 2 to 3 minutes here, they're pretty favored, especially with Diffusal and Radiance coming out at the same time. This is a huge damage power spike. You want to get something going with it, and you want to get going now.
They go for it. The Radiance is complete, though, on Ace, but they know the Primal Split is on cooldown.
This is a beefy target to just go into, especially when you don't have the global ability to connect.
Radiant are
How much does
scanning.
Collapse think he can
Tofu.
chunk through here?
Radiant's
Tofu
bottom
just
tower
left him
is under
alone.
attack.
Tofu was needed to be able to disrupt this combination, but now Ace is left alone, speeds himself away. Somehow the Ace well didn't go off in time, but Mapochka didn't pop that one. And Darachi was like, okay, now it's my opportunity. Hello, Mapochka. Oh, almost got him with a fear shot there on the left-hand side, but Mapochka still died. Collapse still in trouble, has a charge instead, opts for the TP out, but that doesn't make it.
Calculations not on point here. Yeah, he could have just charged the other side of the map. Maybe he didn't have a good target, but it was a mid-wave. He will collect a 3x streak off
Such an
him.
important kill, too. Gaming Gladiators with the Ice Blast on top of Laurel. Now, Collapse and Laurel, who were very much needed to be able to buy Yatoro time, now they've both fallen.
And now you're invading enemy triangle. This is where Gaming want to strike. They want to strike hard on the map right now. Gain a lot of momentum in this game. They have the supports to follow up on the core initiations. They have a crap ton of damage in the tank as long as they can see heroes. And with Darachi able to join any of these goes, suddenly this map has collapsed pretty fast for Team Spirit. And Ags on the Dazzle try and stem some of this bleeding, but right now this crowd, they want to see a game 4. They want to see Gaming strike back in this game 3, and they are delivering.
Yeah, I'm not even convinced those are all Gaming Gladiators fans. They might just be Dota fans who want to be able to see more from a grand finals between these two teams, but it's still a long road ahead for Gaming Gladiators because they're only 2K net worth up. They've hit some timings, yes, but they still have to worry about the double hand of Midas. They have to play this clean. They need to be able to get good executions, but they can't afford to use any pickoffs. Good roll in from Quinn from behind, though, trapping Team Spirit. Shot goes out, looking for more. The Dazzle was shown there. Quinn getting in front of him, blocks him out with a swashbuckle, slows him down with the inhibit from the diffuser plate, allows Darachi to do the damage. He pops the shallow grave. And Laurel, he really wants to finish off Quinn. Will he get that kill? The poison touch. He's got a regen. A Lotus given over to him as well. Good plays from Gaming Gladiators. Give him the extra bit of regen he needs, and now he can pop the regeneration in his bottle for a full heal.
Max efficiency right now. All Team Spirit can do is cut some waves with their double Midas heroes and go late. Because right now it is all Gaming on the momentum chart. And a full Vessel was completed very fast here from Tofu. That even gives you more damage. Vessel plus AA Blast is nasty in these team fights when you're throwing the vortexes down, particularly versus Dazzle, who wants to just heal through with the inverse waves and get that going.
Yeah, you've got Dazzle, you've got the Acewell heal that, you know, would have been a factor if it wasn't for all the anti-heal they have, and then also the Chaos Strike, that lifesteal that the Chaos Knight is so dependent on.
And there is no downtime for this lineup.
Look at him, burned out of mana. They try and give him over a little bit, see if he can charge his way out of there, but he's silenced up by the calling, trapped in the corner, and then they use that Storm Panda to be able to catch more. Laurel is going to die as well. The Dazzle getting no footing in this game.
Ace making his presence felt, and this was with a second item, Boots of Travel, so this isn't even some like early core item.
Pochka looks like he didn't have a way back to the base, so he tried to skirt on through Gaming Gladiator side of the map, but he was spotted, and he will be brought down.
This Brew Spectre combination working wonders right now. As Ace is 5-0 and 10. Completely unstoppable. And you can't bring the CK in to really help you here. The Brew is just great versus the hero with the Radiance Burn, the AoE miss. He has the evasion that Yatoro can't pierce. And not to mention his ult, and you can go in, start messing up these CK illusions.
Yeah, but Radiance and the Dispel,
Yeah,
Chaos Knight's gonna be...
So, what are your options? I mean, you have to just wait until Yatoro's ready to fight, I think. You have to split the map with the Breaker, and this is where Gaming can continue to try and pick you off. Put the Vessel to use, put the Radiance to use. And of course, Darachi, he's on a hero that doesn't have to, you know, farm up some crazy stacks, doesn't have to go in the fight first. He can just farm the defensive parts of the map. If nothing happens, he's still happy. You got a Spectre. Drum for Tofu, just to buff up the team fight even more here. Muerta is doing work, also having a perfect game so far. And the calling is not a spell that these Team Spirit heroes want to fight into. It's annoying for Mira going in with the snowball. It's annoying for Laurel trying to run in and grave people with low-level grave. Team fight is very obnoxious right now, and it's going to collect a free tier 2.
So a tier 2 at 19 minutes for Gaming Gladiators. They can actually take away that outpost. Got a pretty good chokehold on the map. They desperately need now is just not to slip up anywhere, not allow TSpirit an opening. They're building up this net worth lead. It may become insurmountable as long as TSpirit doesn't pull anything sneaky here. The smoke up flips right past TSpirit. They got word on ward, immediately spots Maposhka, and dota2 recognizes that is the hero he wants to get first at the dead shot. Bounce over to Yotaro and hit by the Rolling Thunder. He's trapped, caught, and there's nowhere to go from there. Too many disables on the side of Gaming Gladiators, and they have way too much damage. They need the BKBs on the side of TSpirit, but they're not going to get them anytime soon.
He had it.
Oh, he had it.
Yeah, it was a BKB. He disassembled and bought. He just didn't want to pop it. He didn't have Phantasm. There's no turnaround there.
Yeah.
He will choose to save it for another day. That is the 5th death for Yotaro here, who is yet to make a single kill in this game.
Hey, there's the dazzle play, though. 20 minutes on the dot. They're going to use the couriers to use the Aghanim Shadow Wave. He could solo up that.
That's the better shard I think they were hoping for.
Oh, yeah.
Inkswell shard from Maposhka going to be pretty damn nice here. Try and dispel these melee heroes when they go in. Still, I feel like if you're TSpirit, you're trying to wrap this game out right now. And that is a big paradigm shift from games 1 and 2.
Yeah, how do you wrap, though, against a Spectre and, well, you got this Quinn. He is running around with a Pangolier. You're not going to be able to solo in a lane for very long. It only takes a few seconds for Gaming Gladiators to spot the opportunity and jump onto an Ice Blast, not even needed. Tofu has the damage necessary to kill the support by himself.
And the really nice thing about what's happening right now for Gaming is this Spectre is doing an amazing job protecting their wards. One of the biggest things you have to combat when you play against TSpirit is the vision advantage. They had it a lot in game 1 with that Treant Protector. They abused it pretty damn well in game 2. Here, it's Maposhka trying to get out, get vision for the team, to de-ward these aggressive ops that are doing work for Gaming because they know they're there. They're getting haunted on. Yeah, the cooldown's just so damn low by the time you're back up, by the time you run there to try and gain anything. They're ready to jump on you again, and yeah, I mean, there's always a little Spectre bias in the win probability, and I think that's fair to say, but this is the best Gaming has looked in this series by a large degree. They're continuing to build the momentum.
And he can continue to build the single target items since Ace is built the Radiance, so he could just focus on being able to take out a support in a second. He's going to build into an Orchid up next, so now if you're spotted anywhere on the map, dota2 can guarantee that there's Brimchoke dies, or the Tusk dies, or maybe even some of the cores. He's going to pop it here, looking for Mira. Just get the vision on him. They'll spot him now, and there it is. They jump immediately. Snowball tried to put to work, but it just means he's going to be dragged back in. Does manage to get a shard, but unfortunately, dota2 doesn't care about your blocks there. The guy shards does nothing when he has free pathing.
Spirit just bleeding out right now. They have no answer to the Spectre on the map. Their supports are way too squishy. They don't have an early Aura Buyer. There's no Beastmaster or anything to help protect the backline on the map or help them get lanes out. All 3 of these cores are just building for themselves, right? It's damage items into BKB. You have 2 Midases that are still trying to get the work done. Collapse will try and find a pickoff on Tofu, and this will combine with Maposhka, so they strike back a little bit on the map.
Much needed.
And finally, they're getting some deep vision out as well. You look at these dire obs. It took Maposhka a while, but these are some visions they can play around at least. Though, of course, the second you get spotted...
Maposhka somehow doesn't get spotted by Quinn there. And they have to charge back in. Are they really going to try this a second time? He's got an armor rune. He has so much shield he's got. Maposhka's just going to stay hidden here. Charge canceled by the Spirit Breaker.
Rolling Thunder very far away. He's just going to initiate from 3,000.
Yeah, because at any point in time, the Spectre can join him as soon as he gets that initiation, but they don't quite catch him. The Ice Blast is going to be stretched out. Yotaro, they see an opportunity to turn this around. Yeah, he's going to go for dota2 here with the snowball hitting the ground. There's so many heroes. They dispel out the Phantasm, but Yotaro himself, he will bring down. He will use his own hands and take down the enemy carry. Now looks to finish up these rulings if possible. Gaming Gladiators trying so hard. The last one is going to die. Double kill for Yotaro, and they turn back for Celery. A blink away from Quinn. He cannot afford to get caught here, but he doesn't have a TP. If he gets spotted,
they scanned him. They know.
On the scan. Uh-oh. Quinn's going to be in for a rude awakening in a second here. He just needs to blink up and he gets hit by the Dipto. Swatch will go beside, but they have the silence on him. The Ghost remains with Quinn. He tries to go for a roll-up play, but he's got nowhere to roll away to.
TV back.
Stuck in the corner, did some good damage with Swashbuckle. Too many heroes.
Really nice scan to finish up that fight, and I mean, a little overextension there under a tier 2 gives a really good fight to Yatoro. Ace dispelled a lot of the illusions, instantly dealt with some of the DPS, but Ink Swells, the shards, all these little spells adding up, and of course Dyrachyo going down first. That's a lot of the damage that's been working for you. Downside of this Orchid build, right? The pickoff game is where it's strong. The 5-on-5, this Orchid's not doing anything for you into the early BKBs here. TSpirit strike back, and just like that, somehow Yatoro is top of the board with from 0-5 to highest net worth. This Midas and the Illusions are doing work on the map right now.
I remember this was double Midas lineup plus a Dazzle, the hidden Tinker. This lineup is going to start ramping up pretty damn quickly if you give them the space to work with. And right now, they've got 3 cores farming in 3 different parts of the map after a successful team fight. Game Gladiators, they cannot afford any more slip-ups. They've got Roshan still to be taken here 25 minutes in.
Under attack.
Also time for Mapochka to deward. One of the problems they were facing earlier in this game, suddenly he can run around with his courier, place a bunch of sentries, make sure there's not the deep vision that Gaming were playing off of earlier. So now it shifts the onus back on to Gaming in terms of you got to make an aggressive smoke, get vision back on the map, and keep setting up these pickoff plays for Dyrachyo, who's the one maybe getting picked off here. Yatoro just walks in blind. Get it
He's doing a lot of work. Quinn tries to walk up the Ice Blast just meant to grab 2 of those cores, roll up the snowball onto Dyrachyo. They take that for Yatoro's in big time trouble to give him the shallow grave. Laurel
what a charge.
BKB, but feels will start blocking out some of these heroes. It's not enough. Yatoro still falls, and now with the toss up in the air, Laurel will come down to a hard reality. Crash down, he does have the BKB, and look at that Aghanim Scepter with so many units around him. It's so much heal. He is not going to die so easily. Gaming Gladiators thought they had an easy target. He will fight to the bitter end. They'll bring down Dyrachyo before he finally falls. Collapse stuck though in the silence. The buyback required from Gaming Gladiators because Laurel was too tough of a nut to crack.
That looked way closer than it should have been. Right? These inverse heals are doing mad work at the end of the fight. They have to respect the person and come out from this Dazzle when that A blast has been used earlier on, but still great team fight from Gaming. Started out with Yatoro just walking blind into their triangle, and they were ready for him. Shadowblade did not help him out in that type of fight, and that Ice Blast, it was a beauty from Celery. Landed on pretty much everybody, forces the disengage, and the calling silenced Mira on this jump, right? This is the problematic aspect of this support matchup. When you go in with the Tuskar, this AoE silence clips you. Your team fight's just a nightmare. Beautiful shards on the flip to block off the pandas from Laurel. Another really heads-up play, but damn, the damage is already done at this point, and now it's just a matter of cleaning up, which sounds easier than it actually looked like.
All of those illusions and rulings play against Gaming Gladiators in the worst way. And in the end, Laurel Living does get Dyrachyo killed. So
we'll have to think about clumping up on top of this Dazzle in the later portions of these fights, but I mean, luckily, that's all the primal split, right? The second Ace comes out, he's still full. He's still got Manta Radiance. He's ready to party. He's going to slap some extra kills down for that full team wipe here. Just when this game was slipping up a little bit of momentum. Good. Strike back, get themselves a full 5-man wipe into the Roshan. We'll put Aegis out on Quinn here, who's slowly getting towards that Axe. That team fight definitely helps. Still 500 off here, but that's going to be a large damage ramp. Shadow Step comes out.
Dyrachyo's trying to do this solo. It's a bit dangerous. Collapse, they're going to try and turn back around. They do have the Ice Blast that'll finish off Mira pretty easily. And Collapse, he's got to be careful of his damage. But Yatoro, he comes in, swipes down Dyrachyo. But the rest of the team is now here from Gaming Gladiators looking for the catch. But Collapse has already rolled away. Ball taking out. Oh, the hood shot. It's not quite enough. They have no stuns. Collapse breaks free.
Straight through the man's heart. He did not care. He just walks it off. Can't really get much closer than that. And once more, Yatoro, he finds an angle in the fight, cleans up Dyrachyo and gets the hell out. That is a full silver edge reveal done.
And now the Aegis is going to be taken away from Quinn.
The pickoff game is shifting, right?
Yes, it is. They're not respecting the Shadow Blades, not respecting the aggression, but the Yule Scepter stalls him up. Collapse, Yatoro actually has BKB. They do catch the Ancient Apparition. He's going to die pretty damn quickly there. Roll up. The ruling's going to work, though.
They need
stalling out Yatoro. Now that his BKB is on cooldown, now their magic damage can really go to work, and they can slice and dice through that carry pretty damn quickly. Mapochka, obviously, he doesn't have much hope of living through this. So the fight does turn against them. Not the worst though for Team Spirit, I would say, just purely the fact that they're continuing to keep things a little even.
And their other two cores are farming the map.
Yes.
They've got to be happy with like the next 10 minutes here. This is when the Dazzle and the Breaker are going to come online. They've recovered some of the lost network differential here. These heroes get very spooky around the 3rd to 4th item. They're going to get them damn fast as Collapse is just farming up the map. But Yatoro's aggression used against him here. They'll get the return carry kill. That was a cocky move going up that hill and just taking the fight with his BKB. And BKB stopped it. Blood for blood. Why not? We're in the arena.
I love that Dyrachyo still not slowing down. He may die every once in a while, but he says, you know, ultimately the end game is okay with me. We're still getting some good trade-offs in fights. I'm still going to try and limit your split force by going on you whatever you can.
Doesn't want to let him get away with a tier 2 for free.
BKB, they stick on top, but with the sounds and the stuns, it's enough. Quinn is stunned up for so long. And now Toku's going to be in some trouble as well. He pops his ultimate. That just kind of delays things a little bit, but there's no one coming to save him.
If you're getting multiple Inksols off of these fights, it's probably going to win you the engagement. And right now, you're just getting outnumbered at a tier 2. You overextended on. Courier will die as well. No Brewmaster ultimate for that type of fight. As strong as Ace is right now with a full AC completed on top of everything else, he does want this ult to take the long engagement, right? He's the most farm hero in this game right now. You're gaming, you have to play around what he wants to do, where he wants to take the fights, and what he can commit to. Otherwise, you're just creating an opening for Spirit to come in and pick you off. Yatoro once more looking for the initiation with 2 heroes dead. You get scouted on an off sentry.
This is something that started happening in that game too, where they managed to get, like, it was that one picked off on Celery, right? Where it's like they used the Chronosphere, picked off Celery, and it was like, okay, Chrono for a 5 position. But then they kept that going. You're like, okay, it's 4 versus 5. Then they found another pickoff and another pickoff, and it just so quickly snowballed against them. Gaming Gladiators, you gotta beware. Team Spirit, keep this aggression on point if they think they have the advantage.
Another Tormentor swiftly dealt with. Marl and the Courier brothers over here.
That'll just mean this Chaos Bolt is all the more deadly for some of these supports.
And we can see how Yatoro wants to take these fights. Great confusion with his ult going through on lanes, show up with a Silver Edge, get a pick off, maybe reset. He doesn't have to commit into the full 5-on-5 into the Brew and Pango, which can control in that type of situation.
Oh, he got stuck! Oh, no! Landed on a pebble there, and as a result, Maposhka gets a free TP on out of there. Smoke that's ruined, a Rolling Thunder that's used for nothing.
Interesting little tree.
Powerful.
One of the primal forces in Dota.
First cliffs, then trees. Quinn's having a...
Yeah, Quinn's having a tough time with the terrain
He's
today.
fighting Team Spirit. He's fighting the
map, yeah. Happens to the best of us. Another pickoff that they will miss, which is time for the Midases to go to work, right?
Yeah.
They have been cranking this whole time and climbing the charts. This game is a 1K net worth lead now at 32 minutes. Dead even. And everything depends on these team fights. Collapse the
right kind of initiation here. A charge that hits both supports. Quinn on the run here. Big B to jump after him. Laurel chasing after him with that charge to be able to slow him down. Yeah. He's not going anywhere. 3 dead on the side of Gaming Gladiators, and Team Spirit have changed this game. The narrative was supposed to be Gaming Gladiators controlling and seeing if they could end it, but Team Spirit have turned this all back around in the space of just this 5 to 7 minutes.
This is the Spirit Breaker problem. What happens when you enter the mid game and this hero starts to take over the lanes, get mega farm, and suddenly one charge, you're down half your HP. Inksoul just makes this combo even more oppressive. The only real answer is you just start the fight on your terms with the Primal Split going in with a Haunt and delete the supports. Create a situation where you have numbers advantage, and even when the charge comes through, you don't care because you have the longevity and Ace to deal with it. If you're just getting caught in the open like that, that's sentence. Right now, Collapse is just running the map, literally. He's getting 6-slotted very fast. And the question is, do you have late game answers to the Spirit Breaker here if you're gaming? Outside of tossing him in the air, dispelling him before BKB. Not really, right? None of those traditional answers like a Shadow Demon or a Soulbind, which is on Team Spirit's side.
Yep. And that'll be a problem, especially if Collapse is able to use that charge to kill those Screwmen. That charge damage is pretty heavy. 31 to 22, 4,000 net worth lead for Team Spirit. They've managed to turn this game around and continue to dodge attempts by Gaming Gladiators. You can see the wind has been taken out of the Gaming Gladiator sail. Doracio's not playing with that same kind of fearless that he once was, where anytime a hero showed up, he would just instantly jump and see if he could get the kill.
Yeah, the map has just gone dark. Right? You have one defensive off of your gaming, but those days of where you were picking people off on Spirit side of the map have come and gone. You're now entering their portion of the game. You kind of have to get around this. You can't go late here. Spectre plus the Brewmaster, especially with how much farm Ace has found in this game, are going to continue to scale pretty damn hard. And of course, you always have this option of like tossing the Dazzle in the fight with the Wind Panda and taking the fight that way. Yep. It's a pretty damn good option, a pretty good way to deal with Dazzle in a lot of the historic matchups between these two heroes. But you got to keep scaling on everybody. Muerta and the AA scale is really important here for gaming. If you can get a fourth core out of this Muerta, Tofu has a full Lincoln. He's very farmed. None of it is like direct Muerta damage, you know. He doesn't have like an Axe or Mjolnir or Silver Edge result, but you don't really expect so much. It will deal a decent amount of damage. If you can lock heroes into calling post BKB, that's the dream. Little pump fake out.
Next fight coming up, all about Roshan. 10 seconds till that potential spawn time, and then we'll see when he's actually going to show up.
Also, Celery went back for this Ancient Apparition we've seen develop in this meta. He is looking for that AA blast on the big bull. Dazzle in the CK especially, that is who he wants to hit. To not get snowball dodged, you can't really just AA ult some random supports. It's not going to be good enough to win the fight. You need to connect this ult on a big target and collapse. He's just going to lead the charge with Bulldoze here. Not afraid of too much, while both carries on the other side of the map.
Kind of just running in there.
This is a fight without Yatoro.
Oh, that ward somehow slips past attention. Oh, no, he's got it. Breaking gets him with the Dispel on the Gold Scepter, but it is going to cost Celery his life. He does have to buy back. He's going to play for it. Quinn off the mark there with his blink in, trying to hit some heroes, but they've already popped their BKBs that are resetting a little bit. Celery, he's going to try and walk back into this fight. He's got to be careful, though. He may get caught by Collapse. He spots it.
Found the Ancient
Tower. Yeah, that Ancient Apparition's gone. No more Ice Blast for you to be able to use. Ace has to use his ultimate. He knew the Toro was gunning for him there, and he could have been chain stunned up. Now they back away. Primal Split being used. If they can get everybody out, it's a dream for TSpirit. Collapse is making that momentum, though. Pushed back by the Void Panda. Now hit by the Orchid. If they can heal Collapse, that'd be great, but he has so many dispels and so many heals. Spirit jumping in, goes for the back line. The Pango's been caught, and Yatoro, he destroyed them so instantly. Now turns his damage on the Doraccio. Back by Collapse. Our charge on through. Tofu, he just managed to get the Void Tap down below ground. Does get a dead shot onto Collapse, but he's still pretty damn healthy, and they can't turn this one around. It is all TSpirit, and they will feast on the Brewmaster last.
Team fight decision making just off the charts here. I mean, the kiting with the ult, they just make it look way too easy right now. And so many charges going through from Collapse. He is looking for the high five, and he will get it here.
That was a fight for Roshan, but it is now a fight to hit high ground.
I mean, that's a fight for ages. What are you going to do if you don't have the buybacks or you're not willing to commit them right here? You don't even have the Primal Split if Ace is back. He doesn't even have the buyback. You are short.
Swing.
Short on so many levels right now. Collapse even ulting a Bruling because he knew the Lincolns was coming back up on Tofu just to get back in there and get another charge through. Speed is absolutely exploding here for TSpirit as they are sensing potentially a second Aegis going their way.
One lane of barracks and a Roshan to take. TSpirit, they still have time on the clock. 30 seconds left on the Brewmaster's revive. That is more than enough to get this Aghanim Scepter and a Crystallis. They were winning that fight. Now they've got like 10,000 more gold of items to be able to use. With an Aegis and Cheese and all these other items flowing in. Now you've got a Gloom Stroke with an Aghanim Scepter. Silver Edge fully complete.
They are creating too many problems. He can't deal with any of them. Level 25 also coming out on Collapse, so even more badges on top of the Ags. If you thought this Spirit Breaker was causing you problems before, he's going to be causing them double now. There's just no control for him, and he's way too tanky to try and burst. Doraccio is just not doing enough single target DPS at this point. You're going to need one hell of a long, drawn-out fight.
TSpirit, crazy. They're up 2-0. In this series. They're down in this game 3. They have a 5% chance to make it back in. Sure, they could just give it up, say, well, guys, it's the best of 5. We can give them one, but they claw their way back into this game. Are now in a commanding position. to potentially 3-0 the challengers in Gaming Gladiators.
What makes this team absolutely terrifying at this point in tournaments. We saw everybody from all these teams talk about it, right? If you get ahead of this team, what does it mean? It just means when they might beat you, it feels even worse. Right now, this game has turned itself on the head, as you said. Over 20k lead. Age is up for 4 minutes. So it'll be up to Yatoro in terms of whether he wants to push the high ground during this interval and try and end this game. It feels like he needs even more. There's still a lot of room to grow here. They did finish up an Ags on Maposhka as well, so now you can start to get some Dark Portraits in the mix. Just add even more chaos and confusion to the fight. More damage sources. Yatoro,
Quinn, blink it away.
no fear.
Can't get caught. Otherwise, that is welcoming TSpirit into your base. Charge depletes half his health. Fuel Scepter is going to be used. Nicely breaking with that Lincoln's, but he didn't use that Bulldoze towards the end there.
These are just free. They have the ways to get Collapse out every time. There's a Lincoln's, there's a Swell, there's Four Staff's Grave. We're gonna take
Easy first down. Oh, man! Before you can even complete the sense, he's already gone. They do have an Ice Blast, though. That's pretty well positioned. Duracio's already cleaned up the Green Stroke. It's not too bad, but Duracio, he needs to get out of there. And oh my god, that's so much!
Buyback from the
It's
Spectre.
too much damage. Spectre has to win this now, but he has to be able to pull up that
something.
dazzle. They have to be able to take away this Aegis at the bare minimum. Surely they have to go for more. They have to risk it. Collapse is going to charge on through to make sure you can't set up on Yatoro. Now Yatoro will turn back around on you. He's ready for that fight. He pulls back in Duracio. This could be it for Gaming Gladiators, and let's find a way out of it. Quinn's dead next. Now Duracio, a dive back for him. He falls. Tofu's pulled back in. He is pulled to his death, down into his grave. Quinn, last man standing for Gaming Gladiators.
It will be a one-man stand against what is looking like the best team in the world right now. Absolutely, as they take a commanding team fight victory inside Gaiman's base. No buyback on the Brewmaster there. They just delete the highest net worth hero for Gaiman straight off the bat. No turnaround potential, and you are running out of lives. You are running out of games to play here. And TSpirit, they don't want to just be the best team in the world. They want to prove that they are one of the best teams ever to grace this stage right now. They are showing why. They're going to go for the Megas, play it safe. And Ags finished on Mira. He's about to kick this team straight out of the tournament if he has his way. And they're going to go right for the throne.
Quick reactions from Quinn. Has to blink away. Just one little opening is all it takes with Mira lurking from behind.
Ace back up. We'll see what he can do to stall this out. Gonna need one hell of a primal split here.
Toro starts pushing forward. Mira doesn't quite get it there. They actually stop the Spirit Breaker right in front of their base, but they're locked in by the shards. Quinn's able to hop around it, but now they're still broke. He's ultimate place. He can't do anything against that, but at least the Brewmaster can. Gets off the split. The throne is exploded, and now it's been
Welcome to hell.
Oh no! It is too much for Gaming Gladiators to be able to handle. They are not going to be able to get through this. They have to pray to get out, but the Cathedral is merciless. It is TSpirit who are unstoppable. They will take it.
Victory!